Welcome back to Calm AF. This is episode 311, and today we are talking about discomfort, about being uncomfortable, and why it's a green light when you feel that way. So in episode 310, we talked about the key to unlocking your next level, that next identity that you are ready to shift into, that leap from where you are now to where you want to be, whether that leap is a big career goal, or it's a passion project, or simply wanting to enjoy the success you've created, wanting to fully enjoy this one precious life that you have been given. You want to do that. The foundation of taking that leap is mindset. To become the next version of yourself, you have to think like that version of yourself so that you can start showing up as that version of yourself. And in the last episode, we talked about how to get crystal clear on who that next level version is and how to start aligning with that energy. So if you haven't listened to that yet, make sure you go back and listen to episode 310. And I told you in that episode that that was the first piece. That's the big piece. It's the huge piece in leveling up is mindset. But I also briefly touched on this other part, which is this. If you're up-leveling your mindset, you have to, without exception, no shortcuts. You have to be ready and willing and prepared to feel uncomfortable as fuck while you do it. I wish it weren't the case. I wish it weren't the case, but it is. Because the truth is, shifting your mindset from something you haven't done, right, to believing that that's possible, that who you're becoming is possible, and that you're allowed to be different, it's uncomfortable. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be. So between episode 310 and this episode, I spent 4 days with my best friend, Amanda, and we were actually doing this. Thursday through Sunday of, a few weekends ago, we were fully immersed in leveling up our mindsets, upgrading our energy, really becoming the next level versions of ourselves. So she recently turned 50, and we've been so excited for this milestone. And so I asked her, how are we celebrating? Like, how are we really celebrating this milestone? And she didn't even skip a beat. She was like, you're coming out here. We are holing up in a fabulous hotel, and we are getting the best food, and we are having amazing conversations, and we are going to map out this level up, this shift, mapping out our goals, mapping out becoming the next versions of ourselves. And the only other guests that are allowed to this weekend are the muses. And I was like, well, done and done. Can't think of a better way to spend a birthday. Now, Amanda and I talk all the time. We always are just chatting. We have ideas. We think we know how to change the world for the better. But this weekend wasn't about that particularly. This weekend was about really stepping into the highest versions of ourselves, the next levels, the ones we already saw in each other, which is so important to have people around you who can see the potential that you have, even if you can't see it yet. So we did not just brainstorm. We didn't sit down with a notebook and be like, first, you're going to do this, and then we were really becoming the next level versions of ourselves in real time. And while that sounds exciting, here's the reality. That part, right, the strategy, the logistics, that part is not the part that challenges us. What kept coming up again and again is we were having the conversation of like, this is what you are becoming. And that version of you would not say it like this. You would say it like this. And every time we had that conversation, we were both like, oh, I don't want to do that. That feels scary. That feels uncomfortable. Oh my God, what are people going to think? Oh my God, what if it doesn't work? What if people get mad at me? What if people leave? Don't make me do it, right? This is where we kept coming back to, is the discomfort of like, yes, I'll do it, but don't make me do it. But we will. We both will do these things because this is not our first time. We know that upgrading your identity isn't just about shifting your mindset. It's about acting from that mindset. It's about becoming and doing the things from that mindset, even when it feels really, really, really uncomfortable. Because the only way forward is to just keep stepping into the discomfort. Just keep taking the risks and doing the thing. If you want something new, you cannot keep doing the same things or thinking the same thoughts, which means you have to be willing to stop doing what's comfortable, even when it's working, right? Sitting with the discomfort of stepping into your next level, knowing that some habits, some beliefs, and even some relationships won't come with you, that's challenging. Shifting how you see yourself and shedding old narratives and letting go of what people might think, that's uncomfortable AF. And that weekend when Amanda and I spent, our time really leveling up and then saying like, you know what that means, don't you? Like, yeah. Up-leveling your mindset brings up every feeling. And the only thing you need to do when you feel uncomfortable or you feel scared is to feel it. Just feel uncomfortable. Feel scared. Who cares? If you're hesitating to take the next step because it feels uncertain, that's not a sign to stop. That is proof that you're probably on the right track. Because for most high achievers, the thing holding you back isn't a lack of skill. It's not that you need more strategy or you need to research a little more, just one more book, one more class, one more podcast. It's that you're waiting to feel ready before you move. But the truth is, readiness and confidence, that comes after you start doing the things, not before. Stepping into your next level requires something that you probably don't want to hear. You're going to have to feel uncomfortable. You cannot become who you want to be, your next level, if you are still stuck in people pleasing, in caring what everybody thinks. If you are still stuck in perfectionism, you are not going to step into the next level. If you're trying to control every detail, how other people feel, the mood in the room, you are not going to step into your next level. You will not unlock your potential. If you are playing small, if you're avoiding risks, or you are constantly looking for people to be like, you're doing it, good job, we all love it, we all 100% of the people, we all think you're doing great, keep going. You're never going to do it. These two things, staying comfortable and leveling up, are not compatible. And here's the catch. This discomfort that you are trying to avoid, it's not the bad kind of discomfort. It's not the discomfort of living out of alignment. That is the discomfort we want to avoid. Or settling for less than you deserve. That's the kind of discomfort we are trying to get rid of. This is just the discomfort that's part of growth. So why is it so uncomfortable? It's simple. Your brain, it's wired to keep you safe. And to your brain and your nervous system, safe means familiar. It means predictable. Safe means doing the same thing over and over, staying right where you are, thinking the same way, doing the same things, even when that feels like you've outgrown it. Growth is unfamiliar and uncertain, and it forces you to step into situations where you don't have all the answers. You don't know what people are going to think. And for someone who has spent your whole life not doing that, this unfamiliar uncertainty can feel almost intolerable. But we have to remember that the discomfort of growth is the thing that leads to confidence, right? It's not a sign that you're failing. It's proof that you are moving into the next level. I shared in episode 310, my client Emma, who is ready to up-level her identity. She is shifting into the next version of her, and that means a career change. And in front of her were 3 options, 3 different jobs that she had a really good shot at. 2 of them were great. They had pros, they had cons, they would be good. And the third one was the job that she has been wanting for as long as I've known her. And I said, what do you mean this isn't the one you're going, like this is number one, right? But she had to sit with the discomfort. She had to let herself feel uncomfortable, knowing that if she went for this, she didn't have a guarantee of what was going to happen. Like, what if she went for it and she didn't get it? Or what if she went for it and she got it and then she didn't like it? What would other people think? Her leaving this job to go to this job. So she had to stop trying to control how others perceived her. And that for her was the discomfort, not getting this job. The job was hers. It was always hers. She had to get over this discomfort. Actually, I should say go through this discomfort to let herself say, yes, my dream job is literally within reach. I'm grabbing it, even if I don't have a guarantee of how this is going to turn out. So, how did she do it? How do you start leaning into discomfort? I want you to keep in mind that discomfort doesn't need to stop you. This is just another skill that you can build. And please hear me, once you start building your tolerance to discomfort, it will become your edge. It will make you unstoppable. Because if you are looking at the next level version of you and you're like, I've got all the skills, the only thing keeping me is being uncomfortable. But guess what? I've already built that skill. I already know how to be uncomfortable. Then you're going to be like, so what else could stop me? Nothing. So how do we do this? First, you need to reframe discomfort as a green light because your nervous system currently is throwing up all the red flags, signaling all the alarms, danger, danger, whenever you feel uncomfortable. But it's not dangerous. Discomfort is a green light. It's proof that you're growing. When that, oh my God, this is a terrible idea, when that feeling hits, because you're like, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm like standing on the side of the airplane with my parachute on. And even though I've been preparing for this and I know I'm ready and I know it's what I want to do, never mind. When that happens, that's your cue that you are on the right track. And you can trust yourself. Yes, there is nuance here. Sometimes discomfort is danger, but you can trust yourself to know the difference between the fear of becoming your next version, the fear of expansion, and an actual red flag, right? Holy shit, I'm so afraid what people are going to think. Green light, keep going. Holy shit, this goes against my integrity. Red flag, stop. Oh my gosh, I'm so scared to take up space to say what I really want to say here. Green light, do it. Take up space. Or this is not a safe situation for me. Red flag, walk away. You know it if you will let yourself just pause and ask yourself, is it danger or is it uncomfortable? Growth is uncomfortable. That's normal. The second way to lean into discomfort is to stop waiting for perfection or for certainty. It's not going to happen. It is built after. Okay? Stop waiting to know everything or think you need to gather more information before you will take that first step. You won't. Clarity comes after you take action, not before. Perfectionism, it's just fear that you've decided is logical. Because if it's your brain saying no, but true. If you actually make sure you have not made any mistakes or you have thought of everything, then you will be safe, right? No one can judge you if you're perfect. So keep waiting for that. It's not going to happen. You have to take steps first. That's when you will get more certainty. And the third way to start leaning into that discomfort is to just start taking aligned action now, not later, now. You're on the edge of the airplane. You have taken the classes. The parachute is ready. You're strapped to the instructor. You just have to jump. Just a tiny step forward will shift everything. So you can ask yourself, what is the next tiniest step I can take? and then do it. Do it before you talk yourself out of it. Discomfort isn't the enemy. It is the path. So you have to get out there and do it. The version of you thriving at your next level does not feel calm, does not feel comfortable, does not feel certain all the time. It's just not a thing. That version of you, though, knows how to manage the discomfort of showing up anyway. That version of you just knows this is just a part of it. Feeling uncomfortable is just part of leveling up. That version of you is not proving herself anymore. She already did that. She is past the phase of hustling for validation, making sure everybody knows she's so amazing or shrinking to make other people feel comfortable. That is not the version that you are in anymore, okay? This version of you, you take risks. You allow yourself to be seen even if people have opinions about that. You lean into discomfort, not because it's fun, not because it's easy, right? When Amanda and I were we were like, oh, I don't want to do it. I don't ever want to jump out of the airplane. But I know it's the only way forward. And the best part of all is that when you stop running away or avoiding discomfort and you just start meeting it head on, you will realize that it is not nearly as scary as your mind made it out to be. It's actually freeing. It's actually liberating when you know that the only thing you have to do to get to the next level is to just be willing to be uncomfortable. You're like, that's it? Great. I already know how to do that. I know how to feel uncomfortable. That's not new. That's all. It's so liberating. So you ask yourself, what am I avoiding because it feels uncomfortable? And then you say, if I knew I could handle that discomfort, what would I do right now? And that is your answer. Every time, that is your answer. You have to be willing to feel uncomfortable. Now, you might be listening to this episode thinking like, never mind. Never mind. I don't want to become my next version. That sounds awful. I already feel uncomfortable. I don't want to feel more uncomfortable. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I have the capacity for that. Let me stop you right there. Yes, you do. You're already feeling it. We're just going to do it on purpose now. And we're going to do it for the right reason. We're going to do the green flag or the green light discomfort instead of the red flag discomfort. Okay? Avoiding discomfort is not making things easier for you. You see that, right? It's making things harder. It's making it take longer for you to create the life you want. It's creating all sorts of problems, bigger problems that your future self is going to have to deal with later. Just solve it now. Like I'm sure you've heard at home, right? There's a phrase, don't put it down, put it away. That's this. Stop saving discomfort for later. Stop putting it down. Deal with it. It's not going to get easier later. Now, if this is where you keep getting stuck, if you know you are like on the precipice, on the cusp of something bigger, but you are struggling to step into that mindset because of the discomfort, this is the work I do. I teach you how to navigate that discomfort so that it doesn't stop you. You just need to start now. If discomfort is the thing stopping you as you move into the next level, check out the show notes. You will see a whole bunch of ways that I can help you, that I can stand next to you while you're on the edge of the plane. And then I can just be like, okay, you're ready, boop, and nudge you right out. Check the show notes. You can DM me on Instagram, KristenFinch10, or you can head to the podcast page on my website, KristenFinch.com/podcast. A whole bunch of different ways that you can really learn how to be uncomfortable. No matter what, do it now, today. Your future self will thank you for jumping into the discomfort. Your future self will thank you for doing it now instead of creating something bigger for her later. And I promise you, your current self can handle it. And the world, well, now more than ever, the world really needs and is ready for the version of you that you have always been here to be. It's time. Thanks for listening. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening. And before you go, one more thing. So as you know, I am slightly obsessed with helping as many humans tap into their calm AFness as possible. So if this podcast has helped you, would you please leave a review, make sure you're subscribed, and share it with your friends. Also, make sure you head on over to kristenfinch.com to see how you can work with me. You can sign up for my emails and get any other goodies I have available. Until next week, I love you so much. I am so grateful that you're here. I'll see you next time.